Houston Texans are trying to turn their franchise around. They took a big step forward during the 2023 NFL Draft by securing their quarterback of the future, C.J. Stroud, but then they got aggressive and they moved up to number 3 overall to grab Alabama edge rusher Will Anderson. We got to see Will Anderson in his first NFL action in preseason 2023, and I wanted to get into some of the tape to show how he's fared against NFL offensive linemen, so let's get right into it. I have a handful of plays that I want to show you that each will highlight specific aspects of Anderson's game. The first handful come from Week 1 versus New England, and the second set comes from Week 2 versus Miami Dolphins. Anderson only played a limited amount of snaps in each game, but he didn't need many snaps to make some splash plays, so let's get into them now. On this first play, I want to highlight Anderson's power, hand placement, and ability to set the edge. As you can see, at the snap, Anderson's going to get physical with this right tackle. He gets his hands inside this right tackle's chest and gives a good initial punch and extends his arms to create separation. At this point in the run, if the runner were to bounce this ball outside towards Anderson, he would be able to relatively easily break contact with a simple swipe of the arm and be in position to make the tackle on the runner. Notice how once he makes that contact and secures his hands inside, he's also going to dig his heels in, lower his center of gravity, and secure the leverage advantage versus tackle. These are all fantastic demonstrations of how to win and secure the edge as an edge defender. Great job by Will Anderson on this one. Moving on to the next play, we see our traditional speed rush where we push upfield and try to beat the tackle off the edge. On this play, Anderson isn't able to get the sack or the hit on Bailey Zappi, but he does get the pressure. Watch how number 6's rush in tandem with Anderson's speed rush makes Zappi feel the pressure, tuck the ball, and take the sack. If Zappi were to attempt to throw here, I believe this would have been a strip sack for Anderson. As we can see, Anderson has his inside arm extended, and based on this swipe, I think he would have knocked the ball out and got the sack on this play. This was a good demonstration of a speed rush by Anderson to get the pressure on Zapp and force the sack. Moving on to the next play, we're going to see another way that the Texans are going to use Anderson and get him involved in the pass rush, and that's through defensive line stunts. What that means is the interior defensive lineman is going to immediately press upfield on the snap and aim for the outside shoulder of this guard and the inside shoulder of this tackle. This forces the guard to get his hands on him while working towards the lineman and away from his gap. On this play, we're going to see Anderson peel back and come off that interior defensive lineman's hip and get pressure on Bailey Zappi right up the middle, as the guard is a half a step late coming off this interior defensive lineman and picking up Anderson. As you can see, this guard is going to hook Anderson a little bit. Nothing major, but Anderson's still going to get pressure up the middle, get his hands up, and try to impact this throw. Moving on to the next one, I want to show what Will Anderson brings to the defense as a run blocker. On this play, Anderson is going to explode off the line of scrimmage, read the running back extremely well, and shoot the gap, not allowing this offensive tackle to get his hands inside of his chest. Anderson fills the run gap and gets the tackle for either a loss or no gain on this play. This is something that goes all the way back to his time at Alabama. He's excellent at timing the snap, exploding off the ball, and processing where the running back is navigating in this cluster of players to run fit. Anderson shows all of that on this play, and this shows that his run defense has certainly traveled with him from the college to the NFL game. Excellent, excellent, excellent play here by Anderson again. Will Anderson had a phenomenal first preseason game, although it was in limited sample size. With that being said, I now want to move into the Texans Week 2 matchup versus the Miami Dolphins, and we're going to start with this play. On this one, again, we're not going to get the sack, we're not really going to get pressure here either, but what I want to show is the level of physicality that Anderson plays the game with. Watch how he approaches as the low man, gives a nice violent punch, and stands this offensive lineman up. When he's going to extend those arms, he's going to see the ball was thrown. I just wanted to get this play in here to show the physicality that Anderson is capable of playing with. He's a physical edge who demands the best from the tackle lined up opposite from him every play. Otherwise, he will put them on their butt. Moving on to the next play, the Miami Dolphins almost had a complete disaster here. There's miscommunication on the snap, and no one on the right side of the ball was even expecting the ball to be snapped. Anderson does a great job of exploding off the ball at the snap and getting past his tackle and tight end, who don't even really flinch until it's far too late in the play. Anderson gets into the backfield in a hurry, sees the exchange taking place between Tua and Raheem Mostert, and wraps them both up before determining that Mostert has the ball and tackles him for nearly a safety here. Again, great discipline to watch the ball, and it pays off here, giving him the advantage versus offensive lineman and his tight end. Great play by Anderson, nearly getting a safety here. On the next play, again, watch how low he plays. Leverage wins in the trenches, and Anderson knows how to play with leverage. He gets low and explodes up, making great contact with his right tackle, extends those arms again, and sets that hard edge in the run game. This was a pass play, and obviously it didn't end up really mattering on this one, but these are the kind of consistent edge-setting reps you want to see from a rookie, and why people viewed him as such an exceptional prospect, and why the Texans thought he was worthy of trading up to third overall to go get. On this last play, I want to show how Anderson uses his hands in his pass rush. It's hard to see, but if you look close, you will see how Anderson uses his hands to force his tackle to break contact with him and force him to reset his hands. Anderson's ability to hand fight on pass rushes was one of the other bright spots of his game in college, and then again, it looks like it translated to the NFL. This is something that I believe will be a big part of his game this year, as well as something that I'm certainly going to be watching for in the regular season. At the end of the day, Anderson is, as advertised, a strong and fairly polished edge rusher who can win in a variety of ways. I hope this video showed the value of what Anderson is, and I hope it gave you an idea of why that Texans thought it was someone that they needed to trade up from 12 to 3 to go grab. We didn't see many series from Anderson in the preseason, so I'm looking forward to more tape in the regular season, but that's all we had for this one. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did enjoy this video, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and maybe even hitting the bell to get notified when we drop new content. I really appreciate it. That's all for this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.